Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, hello, wherever you're tuning in. I'm Jeffrey E. Berger, and welcome to Holistic Mental Fitness Series, where myself and Mupo Entertainment believes mental fitness is the new physical health. So, before I bring on my very special guest today, Dr. Howard Sadinsky, to the stage, if I may share with you a little bit here. As a certified holistic wellness coach, I am really humbled to be aligned and working with an amazing group of humanitarian entrepreneurs who are working with the only holistic mental wellness company focusing on the microbiome. And some people ask, what is that? And that's a great question. It's actually your gut, brain, heart axis health, a science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry today, especially when it comes to mental health. Who out there hasn't experienced stress, anxiety, depression, or even suicidal thoughts from time to time? It's no exaggeration to describe stress, depression, anxiety, and burnout as epidemics, literally the black plague of our modern times. This interview series is very near and dear to my own heart because we're sharing stories from other people who are opening up in conversations from all areas of wellness to help people understand it's okay to talk about mental, physical, and emotional health, sharing experiences as well as become informed of alternative options that are out there that are safe and work. We provide real solutions to real people who are serious about getting their physical, mental, and emotional health from a state of barely surviving to thriving again. And that's what I'm so excited about. You know, there is no physical health without mental wellness, and they are really actually two sides of the same coin, which I talk about during this interview series here. And they're really vital for each other and our ability to reach our peak potential in this one life that we get to live. So, how you feel is not just in your head, it's also in your gut, and this is what we do best. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and before I formally introduce my special guest today, but for those who are interested, you can find this interview series out on Mupo Entertainment through mupotv.com. You can actually also download a phone app, whether it's Android or iPhone. We're also seen on Fire TV, Vimeo, Roku, and we will be right back with Dr. Howard. Okay, we are back with Dr. Howard Sadinsky, who is joining us from Woodbridge, Connecticut. Do you still have snow up there by any chance?
We've got a weird winter, no snow.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Being from Buffalo, they still have snow, I think. So he lives in Woodbridge, Connecticut with his beautiful wife, Linda, and his two children. He's actually a native from Connecticut, and he attended Trinity College. Dr. Howard graduated in 1990, osteopathic medicine at the Philadelphia College with his DO. He was a pediatrician with the United States Navy for 9 years, and thank you for your service. And today he is partnered with the Milford Pediatric Group for the past 27 years and is passionate about what he's doing today. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 1 of Holistic Mental Fitness, Dr. Howard, and I can't believe this is my 40th episode with Mupo TV, so welcome today.
Thank you.
It's good to see you today. So, before we get started, just share a little bit about who Dr. Howard is outside of your busy schedule being a pediatrician.
I had trouble hearing you. What was that?
So, share with the viewers a little bit about who Dr. Howard is outside of your busy schedule being a pediatrician.
Like you said, I'm a father of four. Um, enjoy good health, good activity, like to bike, like to travel.
Awesome. Well, that's great. So, for those who are watching, share a little bit about what osteopathic medicine is for the viewers who have no clue what that is.
Osteopathic is mainstream medicine. You probably have some physicians in your area that are DOs and you wouldn't know. Uh, Osteopathic training is very similar to the MD. We learn medication, we learn about surgery. In addition, we also learn manipulation, sort of a combination of a chiropractor and an MD. Very holistic approach to medicine.
So it's two-sided. You've got the Western medicine, and you've got the alternative, which is more on the holistic side, so you can evaluate what's best for your patients.
Correct.
So, what inspired you to become a pediatric physician?
I love working with children. I like being an advocate for children. And that's the group of kids, group of people that I prefer to work with.
Awesome. That's great. So, were you seeing anything in the industry that was frustrating you from not being able to help your patients the way you really wanted to?
Medication is an option. I like the idea of alternative approaches, natural medications, and Amare, the mental wellness company, came up with some great alternatives for me, great options.
Awesome. Yeah, my whole take on this is medications have their time and their place, but it's not an end all be all. Through my own experience, I'm talking about my own experience, having come off of 5 medications, and my doctor wanted to put me on a sixth, and learning about what those really are and the side effects, and looking into plant-based protocols, because plants were really what I've learned over the last 4 to 5 years. Plants were put here for a reason, and they have some amazing results in regards to our own physical and mental wellness. Um, when when we talk about mental health, you know, people, their minds go directly to mental illness, and we're trying to take that mental illness and look at mental wellness and look at it from a holistical perspective. But what is your take? Why do you think that people really hone in on mental illness and they go off on, I'll say, the deep end, just for lack of words right now? They go to the extreme on mental illness. Oh, I'm not mentally ill. Share a little bit about that from your professional perspective.
Yeah, I think it's just lack of education. Mental illness, we know, anxiety, depression, mental issues. Mental wellness encompasses all aspects of life. It's your physical health, your mental health, financial health. So mental wellness is it's a different story. It's the whole book.
Awesome. I agree with that. It encompasses physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial today, as we're looking at the bigger picture here. So more there's a lot of changes happening in the world when it comes to health, and more and more health and wellness professionals are starting to really look at holistic options, holistic mental wellness platforms, alternative options, to incorporate that into their business. And why do you think that is happening today?
Again, it's one more option. It's another option for revenue stream, but it makes sense. It's a very natural progression that once you are introduced to, you follow it.
Right. Okay, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your patients, the kids that you're working with, obviously without giving names, but can you share some of some testimonials for our viewers about working with children, taking them from point A to point B, as you're giving them options, whether they want to go with the pharmaceutical side versus the holistic side, or a combination of both, to the point of getting them on if they're on medication, kind of weaning them off? What has been some of the testimonials that you can share, not violating HIPAA, rules and regulations?
I won't give any patient names. I won't
Exactly.
give any patient descriptions.
Right.
Several patients with attention deficit disorder that were previously on stimulant medication, having different side effects. And we tried some Amari products and were able to successfully get them off of their stimulants. The children are happy, focused, doing well. A lot of patients with anxiety, depression, same situation, are able to get them off of the SSRIs, get them off of their antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds. Again, not always 100%. Maybe it will wean down the medication, but having nice success with that. Autistic children oftentimes are much calmer, much less tantrum, less sensory overload. They're just more calm. And when they're able to sit still, they're able to be more functional. We're certainly not trying to numb anybody up, or these are not heavy duty medications, but just naturally you feel better.
Correct. The way I look at it is, you're taking these plants and feeding your cells and your microorganisms and all the other parts of the body with plants that your body is, longing for. And I'm going to throw this in because this is not something that we had discussed, but I've done some research on the SSRIs. I did an ebook on how to eliminate stress without RXs, and I have found, I did research on 10 SSRIs, and I found that most of them, pretty much 95% of them, some of the side effects: anxiety, stress, depression. And it confused me to read this when these are supposed to help with depression, anxiety, and then the side effects are suicidal tendencies. So, what is your take as a doctor on that? Do you look at that when you're considering medications for children, and how has that impacted you and your practice?
A lot of parents are researching these meds, and that's the first thing they see is risk of suicide with the SSRIs. And I think my personal belief is that it's not the medication that's doing this, but it's the illness. However, there are side effects.
Right.
5 to 10% of people taking an SSRI will be more agitated, more anxious, as opposed to being helped. You have issues with weight gain, you have issues, nausea, diarrhea, different side effects. You're trying to make somebody feel better and you're causing more trouble. So, again, it's an option.
Right.
If we can treat them naturally, I like that idea better.
Exactly. No, that's it's about educating. That's the purpose of this series, is to really educate people about alternative options that are out there, because most doctors don't have that approach. And I understand, many of us understand, they go to med school with a specific curriculum in place, and they're not taught this. But we want people to know that there are other choices, and for them to get educated, well informed, and then they make their decision whether they want to do Western medicine or do holistic or do a combination of both, to see what best works for them. And that's the whole purpose of this. And so we talk about mental health. Mental health is extremely, extremely important. It's the next $1 trillion industry. There's a huge movement towards looking at alternative options, or looking for programs and product lines that are non-pharmaceutical, that are safe and work. And this next commercial, I want to bring awareness about waking up our brains with the Happy Mind Pack, and it's about educating people about cutting edge nootropics. with adaptogens, and these are all obtained through plants. They're out there. They help with motivation, they help with focus, mental energy, and the overall state of your mind, and bringing it to the next level. And so many people are looking for motivation and brain health and neuron regeneration, focus and memory, mental energy and endurance. And they're looking for better options out there because most people want to get off. I say most, not everybody, want to get off Lexapro and Paxil and Zoloft and those types of pharmaceuticals. So we'll take a quick break on taking a look at the Happy Mind Pack, and we'll be right back to wrap up this interview. All right, we are back, and this is something that I do every day. It helps with reduce brain fog. It gives me more energy. My motivation is heightened. My mood is really really good, and it's all natural. So it's really an amazing product line. Dr. Howard talked about his results with his kids and the improvements. And for those that are interested in getting some more information, they can reach out to Dr. Howard. So, Dr. Howard, where can people who are looking for maybe some information from a pediatrician, where can they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me through Facebook, get a hold of me through email. I'm hjsad@aol.com. I'm still an AOL guy, too easy of a password or a username, hjsad@aol.com. So awesome. I love that commercial. Happy Mind Pack. I start every day with the Happy Juice Pack. Tastes great, makes me feel better.
Awesome, that's great. I was just going to ask you to share your testimonial on either the Happy Juice or the Happy Mind Pack, which is it's great on both sides. The Happy Mind Pack, I call it the Happy Juice Pack on steroids, because there's some extra product in there that gives you that extra boost, which is really good. So my last question for you today is, if there was one piece of advice that you could give anyone watching who is looking for that glimmer of hope from a personal or even a professional perspective, what would that be?
I would definitely say, look at your alternatives. Not everything has to be a prescription medication. Look at the alternatives. Amari.com offers great options in a natural way. Very, very little side effects, if any, and far less side effects than any medication out there. Awesome. Amari is a great lineup of products. They can be added together and just feel better.
Super. Well, thanks for that nugget for those viewers out there. And Dr. Howard, I can't thank you enough for taking time from your busy schedule today to bring value from a pediatric perspective, because we value what you guys and gals do out there. We are changing the world with some amazing information for those that are interested in holistic mental wellness. And mental wellness is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial. So I want to share this quick advertisement here for my next week's special guest is Lisa Wages. And Dr. Howard mentioned autism, and Lisa is an autism coach. She's a mental health warrior and social media marketer. And you're going to have to hear her amazing story as a mom. She has an autistic son and a daughter with ADHD. And I actually interviewed um, her daughter a couple of weeks ago, and she's my youngest interviewee. So Allison Grace is in the series, and you'll have to hear her story. She's got an amazing story. So I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimal wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And mental fitness is the new physical health. Thank you, Dr. Howard, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.